So, thanks to Power 105 radio host and all around fuckboy Charlemagne, Twitter was a bit annoying a few weeks ago because he put out a tweet supposedly wanting women to call into the show and explain why they don't want to be called female anymore. I remember linking this article from BuzzFeed on my personal Facebook months ago on this very subject. And I had some folks behaving either as if human beings are supposed to be these unfeeling automatons, and if we feel disrespected by being called a particular word or something like that, it's our fault for feeling anything at all, and there's something wrong with our self-esteem. Or there were people accusing me and the article of trying to put a moratorium on using the word female altogether, when that article explicitly stated the specific context in which the writer argues that female shouldn't be used. You were a teen during the 1990s, like I was. You'll remember that female acquired a specific type of meaning and usage within, you know, informal conversations. Specifically, if you grew up in the hood and shit, and within hip hop culture, women of color, black women especially, most times we were referred to as bitches and hoes. But luckily back then we had uplifting anthems by women rappers like Queen Latifah, Unity, and we had Salt and Pepper. We had music and anthems and things to combat the misogyny within hip hop music, to let us know that no, you are not a bitch, you are not a hoe, you're a woman, and you're more than what these sexist assholes think and say you are and refer to you as. So after all this, the word female was adapted into the urban lexicon as a placeholder for bitch and hoe, and to somehow differentiate between female identified persons who have earned the right to be referred to as a woman, and those who haven't by the standards of patriarchal, misogynistic men, black men. This is the thing, though. The reasoning for female functioning as a placeholder for bitch and hoe, um, it's on pretty shaky foundations, because once a man gets angry enough at a woman, he will just revert to type and just call her a bitch or a hoe. So, and it's happened numerous times over the years. Like, I've been in many a conversation on Twitter where you can go from a female to a bitch or a hoe in like under 3 seconds of you making, under 3 seconds after you've bruised a guy's ego. So, you know, um, being called female is dehumanizing. Female is a designate of biological sex. It's used to denote the sex of species in the world. Hence, I've started asking female what whenever someone refers to women as females. There are female lions, there are female bees, female foxes, and they have names. Female lions are called lionesses. Female foxes are vixens. The female bees are either worker bees or a queen bee. So female identified humans are women. Simple, right? There's nothing radical about that statement. female identified human beings are women. And to see so many black men not care and just like ridicule the, you know, the dehumanization of black women via language it's disappointing and it's disconcerting, and it further shows how much misogynoir is still an issue with our group. And before any black woman comes into my comment section, gets at me on Twitter or something and says, well, I don't mind being called female. That's nice, boo. Some of us hold ourselves to a much higher regard, though. And also, affirming one's own humanity is not, you know, positing that, you know, humans are better than animals, you know, to the extent of treating animals, you know, as like non-motherfucking factors. So, you know, I'm saying that because I don't want people who love their pets, you know, like people to come at me either. I have a cat who I love very, very much, you know, but that has nothing to do with this conversation. We have decided as a society that in order to grow and to continue as a species, there are ways in which we should or must treat each other. And one of those things is the acknowledgement of each other's humanity and treating other fellow human beings like human beings with respect, empathy, sort of. And that's what this pretty much comes down to, you know. Do you see, when you look at a woman, when you look at a girl, a woman, do you see and acknowledge her as a human being, or as just an animal, a savage, unworthy of the label of woman, hence female? Well, I am not just an animal. I am a human being. And there's a word for female identified human beings. Woman.